get my camera stabilizer to work, but since it is not, I went ahead and we're just gonna do it this way with all the cards out here in front. I don't know why my screen's all dark, but yeah, my screen's all nice and dark. So let's get started. Nobody's in here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and start with a collective reading for the energies I'm picking up right now. So, there might be a lot of people right now overthinking things from the past, really starting to remember the past, though, with fond memories instead of the pain endured, having compassion and understanding for the people who have been on our journey and the people we have affected on our journey as well, coming to terms and coming to peace with everything that has taken place and everything that has been going on, uncovering the roots of the issues that happened in certain scenarios and situations, and really having compassion and understanding and forgiveness for ourselves and for the other people involved in the situations that we have gone through. There's really a general energy going on of being able to look back on where we've been with joy, happiness, love, and releasing the pain and the trauma, releasing the overthinking and the hurt that has occurred, being able to really just come to terms with and come to peace with the heartbreaks that had to happen on our journey for our growth and our learning, being able to forgive ourselves, being able to forgive others for the pain and the hurt that we have been through and that they have been through. Being able to have this transformation where we are leaving behind the trauma inflicted on our hearts and our minds from everything that we have gone through, being able to get to the root cause of the pain caused and the sadness and hurt, and really being able to look at things from a different perspective, being able to see things from a perspective of love, being able to see things from a perspective of kindness and compassion and understanding for not only other people but for ourselves. The trauma that has been inflicted and the hurt and pain that we have gone through that has really messed with our minds, messed with our hearts, thrown us off of our original purpose of love and light, and caused us to go into a protective mode. There could have even been something that happened that caused people to really mature emotionally, to grow emotionally. This whole situation has caused the collective to grow emotionally, to mature emotionally, to really find balance and stability within our emotions, to be able to express our emotions without worry, without fear, without overthinking what we are doing, without feeling so broken down. There was a lot of emotional manipulation that a lot of the collective endured in the past that caused a lot of overthinking, that caused a lot of conflict and chaos within our lives, within our minds. And we're really being able to go back and understand the root of that pain, why it was caused, how it was caused, what lessons there were to learn in the situations that we have been through. And we're coming to terms with, coming to peace with everything that has happened leading up to now. Really forgiving ourselves and forgiving others for the trauma and pain that we've endured, and for the hurt and the neglect, as well as the what we considered to be lies in the past, which was just emotional immaturity and people really not knowing what they wanted. There could have definitely been people placing people on pedestals and feeling like that was that situation was the epitome of perfection, and not really seeing the perfection within ourselves, but seeing perfection all around us instead, and in the people we came into contact with instead. We're leaving behind situations that cause us hurt, pain, heartbreak, mental confusion, chaos, conflict, overthinking. We're leaving behind the situations with the inability to grow into something more. Some of us could definitely be headed towards reconciliations with certain people as well. People who have learned how to grow emotionally and who have come into their own, where in the past they may have been very emotionally immature, childish, really didn't know how to express their emotions, and wore all of their emotions on their sleeve. And when you wear your emotions on your sleeve, you're not just wearing your love on your sleeve. You're not just wearing your kindness and your care and your compassion on your sleeve. You're also wearing your anger on your sleeve. You're wearing your hurt on your sleeve. You're wearing your defensiveness on your sleeve. Every single thing that you can think of has both a good and a bad side. When you're emotionally mature, it can also come off as stoic or not really expressing yourself or your love to the fullest of your capabilities. But on the other side of that coin, you are expressing your love. You are expressing your love in a more mature way, a more open and honest way. And at the same time, you are not expressing every single thing, feeling like you have to make sure to say every single thing that ever comes across your mind or into your heart. You are really more feeling like it's okay to say what needs to be said and then to leave it short and sweet, instead of feeling like you have to emotionally word vomit all over everyone around you. And at the same time, it's a much more mature energy that I'm feeling here for the collective emotionally. And a lot of it has come after trauma, after pain, after hurt, after things falling apart and crumbling, and being able to see that the situations that we were in were not perfect, and nothing really is ever going to be perfect, but they were good situations. Even with all the bad that happened there was a lot of good that happened there as well. And we're really being able to look back on the past and see everything that has happened as both good and bad, and starting to forgive and release and really understand ourselves and others much better. Yeah, like I was saying before, there has definitely been a lot of situations in the past where people were very emotionally immature, and there was a lot of people who really hurt other people because of this energy of putting people on a pedestal, putting people on a pedestal that nobody could ever live up to. It's not like putting people on a pedestal that they didn't deserve. No, it's putting people on a pedestal that they could never possibly even hope to live up to, because it's not something that is real. It that perfection level is not something that is real. And I'm not saying that we should not strive to have the ideal relationship that we feel like is a relationship that is something we want and need. But what I am saying is that every relationship has its flaws and its problems, and you can't necessarily see from looking at a surface level what those problems and those situations are going to be. But when we place people on a pedestal, then we expect everything to be perfect all the time, and nothing is ever perfect, period. And then our hopes and our expectations and our dreams get dashed, and we don't really know how to deal with that. And a lot of times you end up getting pissed off and lashing out and getting defensive and getting upset over situations that we were looking at from a warped perspective anyway. A lot of us are learning that beauty is something that is far deeper underneath the surface than something that is just face value. And we're learning that every human is human. There's not just good and bad and light versus dark, and it's more of a full encompassing thing. Every single person has both light and dark within them, and every single person has traumas rooted within them to work through, to grow through, to learn from. Everyone has those moments of overthinking and those moments of heartbreak or despair. And we're learning how to not fall apart completely when we're facing situations that are very rough or harsh or call us to feel sad or lost. And we're learning how to really get to the root of the problems and how to walk away from things that are not good for us, walk away from situations where others are emotionally manipulative, or where people are really childish and don't really know how to deal with their emotions, don't know how to deal with your emotions, don't know how to express themselves in the right way. And we have been dealing with ourselves and learning how to express ourselves in the right way as well. How to really voice what we're feeling, how to live in our truth, and how to move away from anything that really is not serving our highest good. And everyone collectively has been going through a lot of this. A lot of learning and growth has been taking place. We've been dealing with a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, or even possibly jealousy or envy within ourselves over other people and their situations. And we're starting to leave that behind, because we're starting to see that just because something looks perfect from the outside doesn't mean that it is perfect. I've said many times throughout my life that a lot of times when something looks perfect from the outside, there's a lot more decay underneath. There's a lot more darkness than you would think from just looking at the surface. And people are really starting to see now that it's not just what is seen from the outside that matters. Once you delve into a situation, there's a lot more underneath that surface than you at first glance thought that there was. We're starting to really get into this energy of enjoying life again, being stable and strong in our thoughts and in our actions, no longer worrying about our neighbors and what they're doing, but really focused on our own path and our own goals. And if there are people around us that are looking at us like we have everything and they really wish they could be us, or they really are very envious or jealous of what we have going on, we are learning how to look beyond that and see why they're feeling that way, and starting to notice and appreciate that those people may not notice or see the problems that we have going on in our everyday life. And so they are fantasizing and really romanticizing our lives and what we have going on, instead of realizing just how much they have in their own life. And the only way to really show people that is to live it yourself. When you start feeling more grateful for what you have in your life, and you start appreciating your life, and you start living your life to the fullest and feeling good about what you have going on, regardless of whether or not it looks good from the outside, you show others how to do that as well. And there's been a lot of competition energy in the past. A lot of people feeling like they needed to win, instead of focusing on everyone winning as a collective, and focusing on enjoying life together, living life together, being happy and joyful at each other's successes, instead of feeling like we are not good enough because somebody else has had success and it looks like it's so great from the outside, but really in all actuality it is something that everyone can have, and it's also something that is not necessarily the most amazing thing on earth just because it looks like it from the outside to us. I told somebody that I was going to be busy from 11 to 1 today. Somebody that I help out pretty frequently. They help me occasionally too, and I told them I was going to be doing a live video, and now they're messaging me during my live video saying, I know you're probably getting things ready and busy, but yeah, I can't answer you right now. I already told you before that I was going to be busy right now. And you know what? People really need to learn how to respect that when you tell them things. A lot of people look at me in my life and they really don't think that I have anything going on because they don't see what's going on behind the scenes. But behind the scenes, there's a lot going on in my life. And yeah, I'm definitely not answering that person right now. Anyway, yeah, we're really learning how to align ourselves with our own thoughts, our own actions, our own minds. We're learning how to really enjoy life, celebrate life, express ourselves with confidence and calmness. Really learning how to face any storm that comes our way with maturity and self-confidence, self-respect, with integrity, with dignity, instead of feeling like every storm that comes our way is everything falling apart and we're never going to be able to make it out of this. We're starting to learn that every storm that comes our way is something that we actually can face and that we actually can deal with poise, with dignity, with strength. Mulligan's Pub and Grill, Elko, Nevada, good for one free drink. I definitely feel like there's a lot of people that are just celebrating life right now, that are realizing there's a lot more to celebrate than they think there is, that there's a lot more for everyone, not just ourselves, but there is enough success for everyone and enough success to go around for each person. So we don't have to be looking at the other person's paper. We can be focused on our own goals and our own dreams and realize that we can have success in doing those things. There's a lot of love coming into everyone's life collectively as well. I feel like there may be a lot of people really competing for your time and your attention right now, really wanting to be able to come in and take their shot, shoot their shot. There's a lot of in the past, you may have had a lot of emotionally immature people looking to take their shot and shoot their shot with you. But now I feel like there is a lot more people that are emotionally mature coming in, wanting to shoot their shot, wanting to compete, wanting to take their chances. And a lot of this is because of the shift in energy where we're no longer putting up with the people that are, they really don't even realize that they're lying, is the sad part. And it's because they jump in so quick and so fully and romanticize things and put people on a pedestal and that kind of thing, where they don't really realize that that's not the truth. The truth is that everyone has their problems, everyone has their issues, everyone is human, and now we're all starting to accept that more collectively, and it is starting to bring in a lot more mature energy here. Boulder Station, Las Vegas, Nevada. So there is definitely an energy of travel, of enjoying life, of enjoying food and friends and celebration. Things that may have been put on hold for a while because we were sorting through a lot of the past. We may not have been so open to starting things, or open to reconnecting with people, or open to really reaching out on either end of the spectrum. And I feel like a lot of that was due to the pain and hurt and trauma that we were all sorting out and really working through. So now that people are coming out the other side of that and they're feeling good, they're feeling strong, they're feeling emotionally secure and stable, and their thoughts are in alignment, their hearts are in alignment, and everyone is just really feeling like now is the time to strike while the iron is hot. And like it's been a very long journey healing and growing through everything that we've went through. And people are really coming around and out the other side, feeling very hopeful, feeling like there's a reason to have faith again, feeling like there is a lot of light and a lot of beauty in this world around us, and feeling like we're really, like there really is a chance at happiness. And I think a lot of people are more realizing that that happiness is within themselves, and you're not going to get it from the outside as well. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. I can't help but say that every time I pull that out. There's a lot of people focused on freedom in their thoughts, minds, hearts, freedom in their actions, really being able to express their truth and be themselves, really being able to be authentic in their emotions, really being able to accept themselves and accept other people exactly as they are, instead of feeling like you need to dress it up and make it into something that it isn't. We're really all accepting more what is and what isn't, and moving away from the things that are not in alignment with us, and moving towards the things that bring us happiness and joy, towards the things that really bring us stability in our thoughts, and towards the people that are more emotionally mature and wanting to build something real instead of wanting to build something off of fantasy. We are all really wanting to build something more real at this point in time. There's been a lot of roadblocks. There's been a lot of situations that have really thrown us off course, or we thought that we were being thrown off course, but all of it was here for a reason, and all of it was meant to be. And the way that everything played out for a reason. It played out that way so that we could really learn from it, grow from it, understand ourselves better, mature. There could be a lot of people collectively right now moving or traveling, or starting families. And if you're starting a family right now, I feel like there is a very deeply rooted bond and a lot of love on both sides, where both people are very generous and giving with their love, their time, their attention, their energy, their honesty. Both people are very mature emotionally, and you're really seeing things through the eyes of love. I feel like a lot of people right now collectively are seeing things through the eyes of love, and they're really starting to be able to express themselves in a more authentic way, instead of the ways that people have been doing it in the past. And so for this message, I'm gonna leave this message right here, and we're gonna move on. We're gonna start talking about something else. Let's see what else the universe wants to talk about and discuss today. So there's still nobody in here yet, and there's been a couple people in and out, but till then, we're gonna talk about another topic. We're going to be talking about success. We're going to be talking about being seen. We're going to be talking about no longer hiding in the shadows. And really, there's been a lot of people that have been protecting what they have to offer the world so strongly and so defensively that nobody has been able to see what you have to produce or what you have to offer. And a lot of that has been very fear-based thinking, because everybody's so worried that everybody's going to steal everything that they have, or everybody's going to come in like a sneak thief in the middle of the night, you know? And the whole thing is, when you're sitting there protecting yourself like that, and you are constantly worried and overly thinking about whether or not everything that you have to offer is going to be taken by somebody else, then you are not putting what you have to offer out there, and nobody can see what you have to offer if it is all hidden. And so really, you are really meant to be, the collective that's watching right now is really meant to be in the spotlight. You are meant to be seen. You're meant to be heard. You're meant to be a leader. You are meant to really shine brightly and show everything that you have to the world. Everybody has really been stuck on this thought system of fear and anxiety and hiding themselves from the world, becoming invisible and really not allowing anyone in to see. And then they're upset when there's no recognition or acknowledgement of their work or who they are or what they're doing. And how can you have that acknowledgement if you're not willing to put yourself out there and be seen? You have to be willing to put yourself out there and be seen in order for people to see you, right? And so that's what the universe is wanting to talk about right now during this session, or this part of this session, is that we really need to be able to be open to being seen, to being heard, to expressing ourselves and not holding back who we are simply because we're afraid that other people are going to take everything that we have to give. What is meant for us is meant for us, and nobody could ever take it. Know that you have grown so much and be proud of it. Act your age and use some manners. Watch the difference made. So the first part of this video was talking about emotionally maturing and really learning how to express ourselves from a place of maturity, stability, being able to express our love and our emotions, all of our emotions, without stepping into fear, anxiety, anger, hate, pain, and allowing that to run the show. Instead, allowing our love and our kindness and our maturity to run the show, really. So if that part is resonating with you, go check out the first part of the show. Clarity arises. I spelled that wrong. It says clarity arises. So you're really seeing clearly. You're expressing yourself more clearly. You are stepping into your power, and you are really noticing the things about you that cause you to stand out, the things that no one could ever do or be like you. And when we are hiding ourselves, we're hiding ourselves because we're worried that everybody can really take what we have and be who we are. But nobody can really take what you have and be who you are. They can't do things the way that you can. Nobody could ever really fully take your position. Your position and your authority is something that only you can produce. Close connections are important. And so a lot of us have really, out of fear and anxiety and worry, a lot of us have moved away from a lot of people that could have been very beneficial in our lives simply because we were afraid. And it's time to really see that close connections are really important in our lives, and they really make a difference in our lives. And if we constantly move away from everyone out of fear and anxiety, then we will have nobody there at the end of the day. And the whole thing is, there's no reason for this fear and anxiety anyway, because nobody can take what we have and who we are and make it their own. They just can't do that. What is meant for us is meant for us, and what is meant for them is meant for them. Drugs and alcohol. So there could definitely be drugs and alcohol that are impacting the lives collectively right now as well. There could definitely be, I'm going to grab something else to go with that. Find what brings you peace within, or find what brings you peace, it's within you. Refusing to walk away. So, there could definitely be some issues with refusing to walk away from things that are not good for you, with refusing to say no when you feel like you need to. There could definitely be some peer pressure issues here, feeling like in order to fit into the crowd, you really have to be doing the things that other people are doing, and there is no reason for that at all, because you are meant to stand out. You are meant to be your own person. You are meant to really shine. And you can't do that if you are allowing your shine to be hidden by blending into the crowd. We also have the Six of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, you guys are learning collectively right now how to walk away from things that take away your self-esteem, that make you feel alone, that make you feel like you're not a priority, that make you feel like you lack in some way. You're learning how to leave all of that behind, and you're learning how to go it alone when you need to. You're learning how to be okay on your own. You're learning how to really Separate yourself from things that are not good for you, from people that are not good for you. You're learning how to leave behind any feelings that you do not matter, or any feelings that what you have to offer to the world doesn't make a difference, because what you have to offer to the world really makes a very strong difference. And there's been a lot of learning, a lot of growth, a lot of overcoming that has been going on. You guys have really been making your way out of the darkness and into the light. You have really been learning how to focus on the good things that come after a storm, learning how to cleanse and clear your energy. You've really been learning how to not need people around, and how to really stand strong on your own and feel good about yourself, regardless of what is going on around you or who you have around you. I feel like a lot of you have really been learning how to put peer pressure behind you and feel like you can really be yourself regardless of the situation going on. The Hermit and the Exalted Urchin. So yeah, you guys have really been learning how to be okay on your own, how to feel good on your own, how to feel like you aren't ostracized from the world around you simply because of who you are. I feel like a lot of you have felt a lot of imposter syndrome going on, like you really don't belong in the spotlight, like what you have to say doesn't really matter, like who you are really isn't a big deal, but who you are is a very big deal, and you have a very strong destiny and purpose in front of you. And I feel like you guys may have even been placing people on a pedestal that really didn't need to be there. People have meant more in your life than they should have, and it has really knocked you off kilter as those people have moved out of your life, or as those people have walked away from you and left you alone. A lot of you have been dealing with learning how to feel okay regardless of whether or not those people are around you or are in your life. You have really been learning how to leave behind the things that do not matter, and how to feel good about yourself regardless of whether or not everyone has walked away and left you alone. You have been feeling good on your own. Yeah, you've been learning how to come out of this energy of feeling like you need to blend in, feeling like you need to belong, feeling like you can't survive if you don't have people around you. And you've been coming into this energy of realization that it doesn't matter if you have people around you, you are going to survive anyway. And the best way to call in people that are on the level that you are on is by removing the masks and just being yourself and expressing yourself truthfully, authentically, and no longer caring what anybody else thinks about you or what anybody else wants to say about you. You've really been birthing in this new way of being for yourself, and you have really been coming to life. And you've noticed that the world has been coming into life around you as you do this as well. There really is this energy of needing to come out of invisibility, of needing to shed any of the old skins or behaviors that have kept you feeling like you need to cling on to people when they come around you. And you have really been moving away from this energy of refusing to walk away from things that aren't good for you. And you have started walking away from things that aren't good for you. You have started to cut off the things that are not resonating with you, and the people that are dragging you down. You have really been able to start moving away from those things and letting go of those things. Instead of feeling like those things need to be there, you have started to feel like you are okay whether those things are there or not. We have the Chariot, the Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So, in the first section of this, for like the first 25 minutes or so, we were talking about somebody from the past who has gained a lot of emotional maturity, and they're starting to see the heartbreak they caused around them, things like that. And I feel like a lot of you were very severely hurt by somebody who was very emotionally immature, somebody that could have been very strung out. They could have been refusing to walk away from things that weren't good for them, refusing to walk away from addictions, refusing to walk away from people that kept them in this addictive cycle, refusing to let go of the past, and refusing to see the beauty that was in front of them. I feel like for a lot of you, there is somebody that wants to take action, to come forward and to express to you apologies for the way they behaved in the past. I feel like a lot of you may have even had a really hard time expressing your emotions and showing your kindness, your empathy, your care, your compassion, your love, your loyalty, and the way that you usually operate because of the hurt and pain of the past. There's definitely an energy of that changing and that shifting, and you are really expressing yourself more fully at this point. You're learning, you're growing, you are understanding yourself better, you're understanding the world around you better, and you are no longer allowing your tendency to place people on a pedestal to run your life. We share in the joy of volunteering. I feel like a lot of you may have stopped doing as much for the world around you because you were worried about whether or not you were going to get back in return for what you were putting out. And a lot of that was due to the pain that you had, that you were wearing, that you were feeling in your heart. And there could have been people who just said some really harsh things to you or did some really harsh things to you. There could have been people who told you you were naive or stupid, or you could have been worried about that, about people seeing you that way, and it could have caused you not to behave in the way that you normally would have. A lot of people try to tell you not to be this loving beacon of hope and joy and beauty in this world, not to forgive, not to be compassionate, not to be understanding, not to be caring, because all of that will get you taken advantage of. And you know what? If that's who you are as a person and you are denying that, then you are not living the life that you feel is authentic to you. And the life that you feel is authentic to you is being this kind, loving, generous, caring, beautiful person, and not worrying about whether or not you're getting something in return for it, but doing it because that's who you are. A lot of you could definitely be getting ready to go on a vacation here soon, or if you're not, or if you haven't, or if you feel like you can't do that because there's just too much going on, you really need to take some time for you. You need to take some time for self-care, self-love, some time to just relax and enjoy yourself and find your peace, find your inner peace, find your inner love and your inner light, and allow that to guide you forward. A lot of us could really feel like we are caterpillars at this time, and we have yet to bloom into this beautiful butterfly, and a lot of that is because we're letting the thoughts or opinions of others dictate our actions and our behaviors, and we are not living authentically to the fullest of our capabilities. You know what? With the way that this reading is going, I'm probably going to end it here in about 20 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do one more session and see what else the universe wants to talk about today. We're going to see what secrets are being exposed and what is going to be what is going to be highlighted here in the near future is what I think we're going to be talking about in this next little section, is what's going to be highlighted in the near future, what things are going to be coming out, what things are going to be being revealed that we may not have seen before. We're not meant to know everything all the time. And so the things that are going to be coming out here soon may make some people feel like they can't rely on their intuition or things like that. But we're not meant to know everything all the time. And so what is going to be coming out here in the near future? Let's see. Yeah. Forgiveness is needed here for yourself and others. And the whole first section of this video was talking about having that kindness, compassion, empathy, love, understanding for yourself and for others. And that is what emotional maturity is being able to look at the past and see the good and the bad in it, and being able to reminisce on those good moments and those good memories and cherish them, regardless of what bad things could have happened. And loving someone else is really about wanting them to be happy and wanting them to feel good and do good in life, regardless of whether or not it's with us, regardless of whether or not our pasts were meant to stay together forever. We are happy for the other person and want them to do good, want them to feel good, want them to be healing and wanting them to be growing and wanting them to be seeing the good side of life. And regardless of what they did to us, regardless of how the situations played out, it's all about wanting the best for everyone in every situation. Work and have faith. So we are learning how to work and have faith and trust in good things coming to us, regardless of whether or not other people want to look down on us for what we're doing, or whether or not other people think that we are stupid or naive for being this beautiful beacon of light and hope and love in the world. Having faith and trust that that comes back to us, and understanding and knowing that it's not necessarily going to come back to us from the source that we put it into, but it will come back to us. And being ourselves, regardless of whether or not other people want to think that it's not okay to do that. You know what? I do a lot for a lot of people on a regular basis, and it's not because I'm expecting some sort of reward out of it. I am working hard, and I have faith that I will be taken care of and that things will move up for me. But at the same time, there's a lot of places that I put my time and my energy on a regular basis that does not give back to me. And that's okay, because it will come back to me in some way, somehow in the future. Focus on the good parts. It's time to focus on the good parts and to really know that there's always going to be bad parts, and we can focus on those, and we can spend all of our time worried. We can spend all of our time upset. We can spend all of our time angry or hurt or miserable, or we can focus on the good things. You know what? There was this guy I dated last year. I keep wanting to say kid. I've never dated anybody that young in my life. And you know what? We really didn't even date. We were friends with benefits for a little bit, and he really was my best friend for a short time period. He was fucking so life-filled, so vibrant, just so kind in some of the craziest ways. You want to know the best presents he ever brought me was he'd find little keychains or little charms, and he'd bring them to me for my charm bag, and nobody has ever done that but him. He knew what was important to me. Yeah, he knew what my weaknesses were too. He knew what was important to me, though, and he did the things that were important to me. He didn't have a whole lot to give. He didn't have a whole lot material-wise at all. But he was fucking amazing in so many different ways. He was one of the first people who ever bought one of my paintings from me to show his support for what I was doing. And yeah, he was an amazing person in a lot of ways. He was a fucking asshole and immature dumbass in a lot of ways. And I could focus on that. Or I could focus on the good things about him. And I choose to focus on the good things about him. And I choose to hope that he heals the scars that he has inside of him so that he can have happiness in his life. Secrets released. Secrets are going to be coming out. Secrets are going to be being released. A lot of things are going to be really being revealed that have been hidden. Things that have been hidden for a reason. Like I was saying at the beginning of this portion, we are not meant to know everything. We're not meant to know everything. We are meant to learn and grow. And how can you do that if you know everything? You can't. And yes, we can get little glimpses of the energy coming in or little glimpses of what's coming in the future, but we're never going to know everything. And it's okay when things come up that you didn't know before. Some people may even go, oh, you're not intuitive, you're not a psychic, you don't know anything because you didn't see this coming. Well, I wasn't meant to see this coming. I was meant to see that coming, and I saw that coming, but I wasn't meant to see this coming. Caring people. Gemini. A death in the family. Opening up brings release. Meaning and purpose. Open your heart. End of arguments. So, what you are going to be seeing in the near future and what is going to be being revealed to you is that all of this defensive energy that everybody has been going through collectively, where they felt like they couldn't open up, they couldn't express themselves, they couldn't let anyone in, was really causing a lot of problems. And it was emotional immature. And now we're going to be moving into this energy of emotional maturity where we're able to open up and express our emotions, express ourselves without fear, doubt, worry. We're going to be able to tell the people that we love them, regardless of whether or not they're going to say it back to us. Opening up really brings a release, and it exposes all the things that we have been keeping secret and that we've been playing our cards close to our chest. And that's, why play chess when we could just enjoy life? There's going to be an end of arguments because people are going to be expressing their real truth and their real emotions. And that's what's going to be being revealed, is that all it would have taken is doing this in the first place, where everybody was worried, everybody was upset, everybody was feeling like they couldn't express themselves, they couldn't say what they needed to say, they couldn't get it out, they couldn't let people in, and that was what was causing the problems. That is what was actually causing the problems. And now the problems are going to be being fixed by people just being able to let all of that crap go and express themselves instead of keeping it all in, instead of hiding it all, instead of feeling like we're stupid for feeling it or hating ourselves for loving someone that is, somebody that everybody else thinks you shouldn't love. You know what? Who cares what anybody else thinks you should be doing? Karma calls. Cherish those close to you. A comfortable new home is in your future. Important awards. A heart melts ice away. A warm heart melts ice away. Shutting down. I'm thinking about the warm hugs from Olaf. Skeleton key. A new love of life. So there really is collectively a new love of life coming in. And everyone is really realizing that a lot of what was keeping the love away from them was not being able to express their love because of the pain and heartbreak of the past. And people are really starting to see that, it's everyone goes through this, and hurt people. And when we are hurt, guess what? And our heart is on ice, we're not expressing our true emotions. We're not really being ourselves. We're not really letting people in to what we're feeling and what's going on within us. And that's what's causing the problem. What's causing the problem is not being able to open up and express ourselves. That is what's causing the problem. And so now we're really coming into this energy of being able to open up and express ourselves. And we're seeing now that that is what is going to heal the problems that we are going through. And that is what's going to cause us to be able to be open to the other people around us and what's going on. And we're really starting to know and see what is at the root and the base of the problems caused. We're not meant to know everything was the whole point of this whole section. And we are not meant to know that that's what was going on until it's time to know that. And so now we have to learn how to forgive ourselves for the hurt and the pain that we caused others while we were healing our heart and while we were coming out of this hurt and pain that was caused to us. And now we're starting to have more compassion, understanding, empathy for the people who have hurt us because of their hurt hearts in the process of healing themselves. Fraud is uncovered. New money. Loyalty is coming. Distractions. Possible friend. You bring peace. Believe in yourself. Secret payments. Look in the mirror. So yeah, everyone is really learning how to look in the mirror, how to see themselves from a different perspective, how to understand themselves from a different perspective. People are really learning how to see what's behind the mask, not only in others, but in themselves. There is fraud being uncovered here. Somebody could definitely have stolen money from somebody. Somebody could have even pretended to be somebody else to give money to somebody. For some of you, that could be it. There is loyalty coming into your life. There are people that are really going to be being loyal to you. Oh, hey, my comments came up. Hi, guys. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? So there's really a lot of peace coming in, and that peace is coming from believing in yourself. That peace is coming from being able to express yourself fully, being able to really be who you are without fear or worry, without feeling like the whole world's going to fall apart just because you told somebody that you loved them and they didn't tell you that they love you too. You know, that's what's really coming into being here, is people being able to let go of that. People being able to realize that you want somebody in your life who wants you as much as you want them, who loves you the same way that you love them. You don't want somebody that is not feeling that, is not on the same page as you. So now you're going to be able to be letting go of the people that do not feel the same way, so that you can open the door for the people who do. If you expect freedom, then you have to give it as well. Friends' actions revealed. So, there is definitely this energy now of people realizing and understanding that in order to have freedom in their lives, in order to be able to say you're dating somebody and you want to go out to the bar with your friends, and your person that you're dating has a really big issue with that. They don't want you going out. They don't want you having fun. They don't want you being with your friends. Oh, and it's not because I don't trust you. It's because I don't trust everyone else. It doesn't matter. People need to be free. And just because I'm in a relationship does not mean I'm going to give up my freedom. I am still going to live the life that I want to live, and I am still going to go do the things that I want to do. But I also have to realize that my partner needs to be able to do those things as well. It works both ways. Both people in the relationship or the situation need to be able to express themselves. They need to be able to do the things that they want to do. They need to be free. And if you want that freedom, then you need to give that freedom as well. And it's not just in relationships either, it's in friendships as well. When it comes to your friends, if you want to be able to be free to go do what you want to do and be able to enjoy the things that you enjoy, then you need to give them that freedom to be able to live their lives as well. And then at the end of the day, you guys can come back together and you can still have this friendship. And there's a lot of people coming into those realizations that they may not have realized in the past, of realizing that everyone needs their freedom, and being able to express themselves and open up and being able to just be who you are is really something that is coming in collectively for everyone. Being able to break the cycles and the chains of the past, being able to free yourself from feeling like you have to act a certain way in order to be in a situation. You don't have to act a certain way to be in a situation. What you do need to do is, say you're in a relationship and you guys have discussed this and you guys are loyal to each other and you guys are supposed to be the only ones having sex with each other and committed to each other and things like that, then yes, both parties should be keeping to those agreements. And at the same time, you do not have to stay home every night to be loyal to somebody. That's not what it requires to be loyal to somebody. Being loyal to somebody means being able to go out and have fun, or being able to say, okay, about a month ago, I went mushroom hunting with somebody. And when I went and did that, I was staying with somebody who was actually living in a trailer worse than mine. There was no front door, and they had a blanket over it. They had a small heater sitting right next to the bed, and it kept pretty much the bed warm. And that was about it. And this person was a man, and they were like, well, you know, you could sleep over there. There was an extra spot to sleep. And I brought some blankets so I could have slept over there. And they were like, or we could just both lay in this bed and stay warm. And I was like, you know what? We'll just lay in this bed and stay warm. And so the next morning, this guy, I knew he was wanting more from me than what he was getting. And I had made it clear several times that I wasn't wanting any more than friendship. And so the next day I was telling him, well, the reason why is my heart is still on somebody else. And yes, it's going to heal. And yes, I'm going to be able to move forward. But if you want my honesty, my heart is still on this person, whether we're together or not. And he's like, well, I would never be with anybody who spent the same night in the bed with a man and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but if you notice, I didn't let you touch me. And guess what? I expect my person to allow me freedom, and I will give that freedom as well. And both of us need to be trusted in that freedom. And if you burn that bridge of trust, it is really hard to bring that bridge of trust back. But I'm going to move on. And as should you. But at the same time, I am going to allow that freedom to be there. And until you burn that bridge, that freedom will be there. And that's the way it should be for everyone in a relationship. We have the Nine of Pentacles, I've spent enough time in my life dealing with somebody that could not handle me being around people because, oh, I might leave them if I'm around people. I feel like there really has been a lot of people who have been hiding who they are, half of who they are, because they just wanted to make everyone else happy instead of being able to do the things that were right for them. They wanted to make everyone else happy. And I had two people send me a donation. Thank you guys so much for that. If you wanted to ask a question, you can ask a question. I haven't seen any comments come up with anybody's questions yet. So, yeah. Anyway, there has been a lot of really trying to balance what everyone else wants and what we want. And the whole thing is, in order to free ourselves from that, we have to be confident in our own decisions. We have to be solid in our own decisions. We have to be feeling good about ourselves and like we have everything we need within ourselves, and the universe will provide the rest. Like, we don't necessarily need all these people around us. We want them around us, and that is so much better anyway. Because when we need them around us, that is a completely different energy. That's a very codependent energy. But when we want them around us, even though we don't need them, we want them in our lives and they enrich our lives. That is an amazing relationship, and that is what I want. I don't want a relationship where everybody is jealous and everybody is constantly feeling like they need to keep you pinned down and in their little box because you're going to be gone if they let you walk out the door and go to your friend date. I mean, come on. And you know what? Another thing, I get along very well with men. And I really enjoy friendships with men. That doesn't mean I'm sleeping with every man I come across. That doesn't mean that I'm building a heart-centered relationship with every man that I come across. And yes, it is a heart-centered relationship because there should be love for everyone in your life, really. And that's a different kind of love, yes, but it's still a love. And people should be allowed to really just be themselves and not to have to worry about whether or not they're going to lose the person in their life because the person in their life can't handle them talking to other people. The Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So yeah, really, there's a lot of truths. Oh. I don't know where the messages just went, but they were up here a second ago. I'm still learning on this a little bit, guys. And yeah, where did the chat go? There we go. Okay. What does Spirit most want you to focus on? What does Spirit most want you to focus on? Self-love. Your inner truth. Doing what's best for you and not focusing so much on what is making other people happy. That is the biggest message I am seeing of the day in general, especially for the collective in general. But let's see for you specifically, what does Spirit most want you to focus on? Tarantula, regret, outsider, firefly, hawk. They want you to focus on the messages that are coming into you, on expressing those messages as well, on not worrying about whether or not people think you're crazy or whether or not people are going to walk away from you, whether or not people view you as an outsider, but just allowing yourself to be who you truly are at the core and to walk down your life purpose and your life path, to be an inspiration to everyone around you by being this guiding light for the world and not worrying about whether or not people are going to be there at the end of the day, because there are going to be people there. There are going to be. And the best way to have the people that are best for us around us, the ones that really matter and see us as beautiful and really are the ones that are meant for our life, is by being who we truly are at the core and not regretting leaving behind anything that does not resonate with us or any people that do not believe in what we're doing or working on. And the assistance with housing that you requested. I feel like the assistance that you requested might be on hold, but it's only because of you need to let go of the burdens, release the burdens. A lot of you are not a lot of you are really overburdened by this constant feeling of being trapped and this constant feeling like nothing is going to work out, like everything's in darkness, like you can't really see what's going on for what it really is. You've been holding back on a lot of things. I feel like there is definitely going to be this support coming in. And I feel like it's going to be a community-based support as well. A support that is really going to help you through what you're going through. But you need to come out of this energy of feeling stuck and trapped. And like there is so much weight on your shoulders. There is. I know there is. But praying and having faith and trust and being able to live your life without stressing or worrying about it is going to raise your vibration to the level that you are able to receive and to where good things are coming your way. When you're constantly stressed or overly worried or anxious, it attracts that energy back to you. My messages went away again. I can understand being reluctant to share. It's really, that's what a lot of the first half of this ended up being about, is being reluctant to share who you really are, being in this energy where you just want to be invisible. You don't want anybody to see you. You don't want anybody to hear you, because everybody has really ingrained it in our mind that everyone's going to steal from us, everyone's going to take from us, so we got to guard everything we have so close to us. You know what? If it's ours and it's meant for us, nobody can take it anyway. Nobody can do it like we can do it anyway. And the only way to be seen, recognized, heard is to put it out there. You cannot get the help that you need unless you put it out there. You cannot get the attention or recognition for the things that you do unless you put it out there. If you're holding it all close to your chest and you're not putting it out there, how are you supposed to ever get anything? You can't. But if you stay in that scared energy, then they get it and you don't, right? So let's see what else we have here on this topic and this subject. We'll just keep going. We have the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Swords again, the Hermit, and Death. So this transformation is really going to be made by you taking some time in your own energy, taking some time for self-care, taking some time away from the rest of the world, and really acknowledging that you need this time. I feel like this isn't just a message for you. This is a message for multiple people. There's a lot of people right now that are just feeling very tired, very worn out, very overworked. And at the same time, they're feeling like everything that everyone else says is true. They're just lazy and they don't know what they're doing and they aren't accomplishing anything and all that kind of crap. And you know what? That is so not true. And things are going to work out so much better for you if you take that time for your self-care, your self-love, to really pamper yourself and love yourself, because in doing that, that raises your vibrations as well. And that allows good things to flow in too. Not only that, but you're telling yourself that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of care. And you also need to believe that you deserve the help to be coming into you. And you do. You deserve that help to be coming into you. I'm going to go into a story about my dad really quick. My dad was a veteran, and he was thrown out of the Navy because he smoked some weed. He wasn't dishonorably discharged. He was honorably discharged, but he smoked some weed. God forbid. There are not that many people who went to Vietnam who didn't smoke weed. I'll say that much. And it is a fucking plant that is very medicinal. But since everybody decided that they wanted to support the pharmaceutical companies, that's not allowed. And this is so bad, but it isn't. Anyway, so a few years back, he's telling me that I need to start taking care of myself and I need to start doing the good things for me. And I can't just take care of everybody else and never me. And I was like, you know what? Maybe if I had a parent ever in my entire life that didn't give their shirt off their back to somebody who needed it anytime there was a need for it, but never once stopped to take care of themselves, maybe I would actually know how to take care of my damn self. Why don't you start doing that? And then I started yelling at him because he had all kinds of medical things going wrong and all kinds of issues going on. And I was like, you know what, Dad? You are low income and there is adult Medicaid in that state right now. You could get adult Medicaid for yourself, but guess what? You're a Republican, so you can't do that because God forbid you actually need some fucking help once in a while. I was like, you are also ex-military, and whether you were thrown out or not, you weren't dishonorably discharged, and you could go down there and you could get your VA insurance and you could get everything taken care of. And anything that they didn't pay for, Medicaid would pay for. But you're not going to do that because God forbid you actually ask for help and accept help, right? A couple years later, he had gotten all of that done and he went and took care of everything that he had to take care of. First off, it's amazing what expressing your truth can do. Because if I wouldn't have sat there and yelled at my dad that day, he never would have did any of that. Another thing, he did all of that stuff to show me how to do it. And now I am doing all of that stuff to show my kids how to do it. Because they need to be shown how to do it too. I think I missed a few comments in here while I was on that rant. It can be really hard to try to get it through these people's heads. And it's because they've been told their entire lives that asking for help is a weakness, or needing help is a weakness, or you're just lazy, or you should be doing everything all by yourself and nobody should ever have to help you with anything. And you know what? Everybody needs help sometimes. What is so fucking wrong with needing help sometimes? There is nothing wrong with that. And all of those things that you won't mention, nobody can help you with. It's like that song, somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to lean on. At times in our life, things are going to be hard and we all need someone to lean on. And that is okay that we need someone to lean on, especially if we're somebody who's usually there to hold everyone else up. What is so wrong with needing it back once in a while? And what is so wrong with expressing that either? There are so many tarot readers that I have seen on here that start talking about which they're talking about the people that get in their comments and get on there falsely claiming to be them and trying to get people to send them money. But they start off with, I would never, ever, ever ask you for money. Period. I would never ask you for money. Well, you know what? I would and have, because I don't have that much pride. Pride gets in the way of that. There are times that I have needed things and haven't had it. But I also didn't put it out there that I needed it. And then there have been times where I needed things and I put it out there that I needed it. And the people that I am here taking care of every day came in and helped to take care of me, which was fucking amazing. And I was so grateful. And it really made me believe again that what I was doing was worth it. But here's the difference. I asked for it. I didn't just pretend like I didn't need anything and like what I was doing wasn't worth anything, or like, you know, instead I actually asked for it. I didn't have so much pride that I couldn't put myself out there in that way. I think everybody goes through that at some point in their life, honestly. So let's see what else we should be talking about. Yeah, it's really ending the circle of sadness and darkness and hurt, the cycle of that, and really being able to see that the light that we put out there in this world is making a difference. Trusting in our path and knowing that opportunities will present themselves, but we also have to be open and willing to accept those opportunities. We have to be willing to open ourselves up to the idea that those opportunities will be there for us and that it is okay to accept those opportunities. That we're not doing something wrong by accepting the beautiful things and beautiful offers and beautiful people around us coming in to help and to be a light for us, the way that we are a light for them. There's nothing wrong with accepting other people helping us the way that we are there to help others. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities coming in for everyone right now. And there's also an opportunity to see that leadership isn't about controlling people or forcing people or making people do what you want them to do. Leadership is about setting an example and allowing others to follow and knowing that your example is what's going to lead the way. Kind of like that story I was just telling about my dad a little bit ago. It's the same thing. That example is what's leading the way. You can't force people into doing the things you want them to do, but you can show them the way. There's a lot of opportunities coming in for the people watching right now. There's a lot of opportunities coming in on the horizon, and I feel like you are being asked to step up into this role of showing others by example. Not trying to get people to do what you want them to, not constantly feeling like everyone needs to believe what you believe or do what you do, but realizing there's many different ways to do things. And it's okay if people are going to do things their own way. Allowing people to do things their own way, allowing yourself to do things your own way, and not really worrying what anybody thinks about you or feels about you or anything along those lines, and just being able to be you. Yes, stepping outside your comfort zone. And it's amazing stepping outside your comfort zone, isn't it? And you know, at first we're really afraid, worried, like we can't handle it or we don't know what's going on. But the way that we learn is by doing. A few years back, about 5 years back, 6 years back, if you can believe it, I had so much fucking social anxiety. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous because I had been a stay-at-home wife and mom for so long, and we didn't have much money, so we really didn't have anybody to watch our kids ever. And we pretty much were at home all the time. And then I had to start going down to the Head Start Center with my kids, and I did a lot of volunteering down there. I did a lot of the activities and things like that they had down there. It was so hard at first because I just wasn't used to being around people. I hadn't been around people in so long. It was so hard to come out of my shell and so hard to just be able to express myself. And believe it or not, public speaking has been one of my greatest fears throughout my entire life. And here I am sitting in front of you today to talk to you and not really giving a shit what anybody thinks about it, because that's how we do it. We just do it. It's scary, but it is exciting. Exactly. It is something that really is worth doing as well. Being able to break out of that and being able to experience new things. And just because it's new doesn't make it bad. There's a lot of new things that are fucking amazing. But if we don't allow ourselves to have those new things going on, then we'll never know it. Well, you can definitely overcome that as easily as I have. Okay, easily. Easily is yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And you know what? There was a lot of times that I was shaking when I was doing those things, because that's how much fear I had in me. I was shaking with fear, and it just, it doesn't matter. There was times that I stumbled over my words, or oh, there was one time last year that I had a lot going on that day, and I really hadn't had a whole lot of anything for a while, but I had enough to get a soda and a sandwich at the store, and I went in there to go do that because my mom had just sent me $20, and I didn't let her send me money very often because she doesn't have money anyway. But I think it was my birthday, and she sent me $50. And so I went in there to get a sandwich and a soda, and my card wasn't working, and it wasn't working, and it wasn't working. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for it then. And I started bawling. And the lady at the cash register, she's like, don't worry about it. I got it. It's okay. And I could barely even say thank you before I grabbed my stuff, and I just ran outside and I started bawling. And yeah, there's been a lot. But being okay with being emotional in front of others is another thing that I've had to be okay with. and I've had to learn to deal with and not be upset about. It just, everyone has bad days, everyone has those moments, and it's okay. So let's see what else we're going to be talking about. We have the frog, the owl, and the elk. Thank you. Yeah. My first live stream was a couple weeks ago, and my first live stream doing a reading, though, is today. And yeah, mostly because it's really hard having to hold my phone and do the cards and everything, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but I just got the cards everywhere, and I'm just pulling them that way. What messages are meant to come out are going to come out however I do it, right? Ah, oops, I clicked the wrong button. Hi. You know what? It's $10 a question, but really, honestly, you could ask your question and I'll answer it. Donations are welcome. I feel like a lot of people right now are just cleansing a lot of this old, stale, negative energy and really starting to see the wisdom that they have gained from the journey that they've been on. And that wisdom is gained through hardship, it's gained through pain, it's gained through loss, it's gained through everything that we have been through. I've said it a lot, but I'll say it again, that I wouldn't trade anything I've been through throughout my life at all. It doesn't matter what it is. I can even think of things that are good about the man who molested me from 10 to 13 being in my life. Because if it wasn't for that guy, I would not be sitting here in front of you today. I really wouldn't. I would not be here doing this. And look how many people that I affect in my life because of somebody who molested me. Granted, would I like to experience that again? No. And did I enjoy it? No. But at the same time, I would not change it. And that's what it is to heal, is to be able to accept your life exactly as it is and know that every part of it has had a purpose, a rhyme, and a reason. Being able to forgive and let go of the situations that happened in the past so they aren't poisoning you right now. There's a lot of stability and a lot of strength within everyone watching this reading right now, and you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge as well. You really do know a lot of things that other people do not know. And the reason that you know those things is because of everything that you have been through. If it wouldn't have been for the experiences that you had, you would not know what you know right now. Yes. Hardship, pain, hurt. The Queen of Swords is generally somebody who has been through the ringer time and time and time again throughout their life. Somebody that has had to experience a lot of pain, a lot of hardship, a lot of hurt. And through that hardship and that hurt, you have learned. You have gained knowledge, you have gained wisdom, you have gained the ability to communicate very effectively, very efficiently. You have really been able to cut out the noise and the nonsense and shut off what anybody else wants or anybody else needs. And you have learned how to focus on what is good for you and what is not good for you, on closing out cycles that are not good for you, on speaking your truth and expressing yourself without worry or shame or guilt or fear, and being able to just be yourself regardless of what's going on around you. And that is what a lot of this journey has taught you, is how to really step into your power and be you, and how to express yourself, and how to really see the truths in situations. I feel like a lot of you really can see things very clearly. You can see things from so many different perspectives and understandings, while at the same time not allowing people to do whatever they want just because you can understand the position that they're in. Just because you can understand the position that they're in does not mean that you allow them to do whatever they want to do. But at the same time, you are just really, you're very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. I lost my train of thought. Apparently what I was thinking about saying wasn't wanting to come out. Yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of this energy of realizing that even though we think we're alone, we're really never alone. The universe is around us. They are there helping us, guiding us through this journey. And any hardship that we have faced, any cold energy we've faced, any left out energy, any feelings of not being good enough, not being worthy, any feelings of any doormat energy where in the past we let people walk over us, talk over us, step on us. It's just all of those things happened so that we could learn how to stand in our power and stand up to others and learn how to say what we needed to say, regardless of the situation we were in. It took me a long time to say those things for myself. I always did for everyone else around me. I mean, shit, when I was 14 years old, there was this girl that I was hanging out with this day. We met each other that day, and there was a few of them. We were in front of this house filled with a bunch of guys, and they were all talking in Spanish because they were Mexican, and they were talking to us and then talking in Spanish some more. And this girl was talking about this guy that was right there, and she's like, this guy's like my older brother, he's the best guy in the world, and all these great things to say about this guy. And like 5 minutes later, not even 5 minutes later, this other guy, his friend, is dragging her into the trailer, and she was drunk. It's the middle of the day and she was drunk. I don't know why she was drunk, but she was drunk in the middle of the day. And this guy is dragging her into this trailer against her will. She's fighting to try to get away from him, and he closes the door and locks it. And I looked at that guy that she was just talking about like he was the greatest guy in the world that isn't even paying attention to what's going on or is ignoring it. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What kind of fucking big brother are you? What kind of fucking man are you to stand there and let your friend drag her into that fucking trailer right there and not do a damn thing to stop it? What the hell is wrong with you? And he turned around and immediately was banging on that door, getting his friend to open that door, and he pulled her out and put him in his place. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What kind of shit is that? I've always been able to do that for other people. Now doing that for myself is something that I have had to learn over the years. So anyway, there's this energy of all the seeds that everyone has been planting coming into fruition. You may not see those fruits being bared right now, but there are fruits around you right now that have come from the past. And it's time to focus on those. It is time to see the progress you've made, and it is time to be proud of yourself. It is time to really love yourself and appreciate yourself for everything that you have overcome, every challenge that you have faced, and you have come out the other end successful. And I feel like there are so many more fruits to your labor that are going to be coming later. Right now, you only have the one tree blooming, but there are so many more trees that are blooming in the background that she doesn't even see yet. There's really just this energy that you have learned and grown and overcome everything, and now you know your worth, you know your value, and you refuse to accept anything less than your value anymore because you know who you are, and you know what you want, and you know what you do not want in your life anymore. And it's really just this energy of you are this kind, caring, loving person who has really put in a lot of time, effort, and energy towards everything that means the world to you. And I feel like it is the things that mean the most to you in life. It's not the materialistic things. It's those things that really mean the most to you. And you have really accumulated a lot of good things coming into you from all of the good that you have put out there. You are somebody who's very honest, very integrity filled. You have a lot of dignity, a lot of beauty about you. You're very caring, very generous, very kind, very nurturing and loving, and you just bring life to the world around you. And it's believing that you bring that life to the world around you that is going to bring that life to your world within. She was okay. Yeah, she was okay. I don't know if she was okay later. I think I saw her once or twice more after that, but I really don't know what happened to her in her life. I have a feeling that she went through a lot of trauma, which is why she was where she was at that day. And I mean, I hope she's doing good. It's been a long time, but there's been a lot of that where I've ran into situations like that in my life. And you want to know what probably taught her to stand up for herself was probably seeing people stand up for her like that in the first place. When people feel like they are important, like they matter, even if it's mattering to a stranger. That's why it's so important that we put out that good energy, regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless of if anybody thinks people are going to be taking advantage of you, you're naive, you're stupid, and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what we do. And you know what? I'm going to stand up for what's right, regardless of whether or not that person's going to treat me right at the end of the day. So we have cruelty and the weeper. What I'm getting from this is being able to cry and cleanse yourself from the cruelties that you have seen in this world and experienced in this world is really going to help you get more in touch with your heart again. Help you to really be the person that you are underneath any of the masks. Because what started this whole thing out way down here at the beginning, what started this whole thing out was being able to be authentically you and being able to let go of what anybody else thinks about that or feels about that, being able to let go of expectations, being able to let go of whether or not it's going to come back to you from those specific people, and being able to know that it's going to come back to you in the long run. Being able to express yourself and know yourself, and being able to heal the pain in your heart so that you can be who you really are. A lot of us have learned how to be hard. A lot of us have learned how to be that cruelty in the world from the cruelties that we've experienced. And now we're learning how to pull ourselves out of that and how to be this kind, generous, loving person again with boundaries. Not allowing people to overrun us or stomp us on us or walk on us, but at the same time, still being that loving energy of light and joy in the world. Working hard, increasing our skills, increasing our knowledge, working on the things that bring us passion, working on the things that bring us joy, working on the things that really bring a lot of good into our lives and the world around us. Being able to be this generous, kind, giving, loving, mothering energy and not being a martyr. Because before we learned those lessons, we may have been in that energy, but we also may have been a bit of a martyr because we were worried about whether or not we were being given what we felt we should be given for what we were doing, instead of just being that light and that love. And we were also allowing people to stomp on us and take up our time, our energy, our efforts, and putting it all out there without anything left for ourselves. When we can do both, we can balance it. We can give and we can take. There has to be a balance of both in order for things to succeed. You may actually be dealing with a lot of competition for your time, your energy, and your attention right now. And you know now how to deal with that, how to delegate, how to deal with people when they're wanting from you and you don't want to give to them, or you can't give to them. We now know how to deal with those situations and those scenarios and how to do it in a kind way and a loving way, and remind people that, hey, I'm only one person. I only have so much time. I only have so much energy. I only have so much that I can give. And at the end of the day, I do need something back. And when we need something back, we can ask for it. We can say it and we can accept it, instead of feeling like we have to take care of everything or we're not good enough. There's a lot of good friendships coming in because of this. There's a lot of peace and harmony coming to our relationships because of this. There's a lot of people that want to do for us the way that we do for them because of this. And at some point, we have to stop looking at the past and what has happened in the past as horrible and awful, and start looking at the good things that came from the past and the good things that could still come in the future. And really just knowing that our hard work is paying off. Knowing that there are people out there that are honest, that are solid, that are stable, that want to do for us the way that we do for them. Instead of feeling like we have to take care of everything, that other people can sometimes take care of something too. And that doesn't make what we're doing any less valuable. And it doesn't make what they're doing so much more valuable than what we're doing. But at the same time, what they are doing is valuable. What we are doing is valuable. There is value coming from both positions into the situation. And when there isn't value coming from both positions into the situation, then we cut those situations off, or we keep those situations at a distance. Our closer friends, our closer family, the people that we allow into our inner circle are the ones that are going to do for us the way that we do for them. And that's what we have learned from all of the harsh experiences that we have went through, the cruelties and the hurt and the pain that we have went through. That's what we have learned, is what truly matters and how to be in a balanced connection instead of a connection that is so imbalanced that we are overworking ourselves into the ground and never having the support that we need from the outside. It's okay to have that support we need from the outside, and it is okay to give that support to others as well. And it's good. It's actually really good to be able to do both. It's good to be able to give and take, and to be able to take and give. But if you're just giving, and refusing to take anything back, then people are taking, and technically you can't even blame it on them, because you're the one who's giving with no end in sight, and you're refusing to allow them to give to you. So really, it's learning the balance of that. It's learning how to give and to take, and how to be okay with both sides of that. And how to be okay with people taking what you are offering. And if you can't give, being able to voice that and say it. And that's what stops attracting the moth to the flame. That's what stops people sucking up all of your energy. That's what stops energy vampires in their tracks, is expecting a return on what you're giving, and not necessarily expecting it, but knowing that it will come. And the people who are not bringing a return are the people that are not allowed in your inner circle. The people who are willing to bring a return, those people are the ones that we allow in. I feel like a lot of the collective has kind of hidden themselves away for a while now, so that they could heal, so that they could grow, so that they could learn, so that they could really bring their energy back up, because you may have given a lot of it away and not really replenished it. And there is a balance in that too. Being able to step back for a little bit and say, hey, I got my phone on Do Not Disturb, guys. I'm dealing with me and my stuff. Deal with your own shit. I'll be back when I'm back. And if they don't need you, but they want you, we were discussing this earlier, there's a difference between need and want when it comes to the relationships in our lives. When we need, it's a codependency. When we want, but we don't need, it's a much better relationship, because everybody has their freedom then. And being able to just step back and say, hey, I need a day or two to myself and heal, so I can recuperate, so I can regenerate. I put a lot of energy out there, and now it's time to take care of my energy. That is what stops the people from taking all of your energy. It's not just something that's outside yourself that you can't control. It is something within us too. So we're coming out of that victimhood mentality and starting to realize that it's not just other people, it is ourselves as well. I agree. The secret to abundance is definitely being able to give and receive. Because if you're not willing to receive, you're never going to get anything. And if you're not willing to give, then really you shouldn't be receiving either. And a lot of people are going to be walking away from you because you're not willing to give. Yeah. This is pretty much what I was just talking about. So, in the collective, we're now moving forward. We are really getting our light and our shadow sides into balance, giving up the victimhood consciousness, and starting to see that every choice and situation that comes into our lives is all not just the outside, it's within our power as well. We're starting to go really quickly towards what we want. We're starting to protect what we feel we need to protect about ourselves and our growth and our situations. And we're really following our intuition towards our happiness, defending what matters to us, defending what's right, standing up for what's right, really shedding this invisible energy and allowing our light to shine, and not really minding that there are people looking at us, but really enjoying that there are people inspired by us. We're leading the way towards freedom, towards really being able to remove the toxicity and the bindings of the devil energy and come into this lover's energy, which is more free, which is being able to want the people in our lives but not need them, and being in connections where they want us in our life, in their lives, but don't need us in our lives, and not feeling like there's something missing from our lives because there's nobody who needs us, but there are people who want us, and vice versa. Really being able to see and focus on the messages that are coming in from the higher realms and being able to understand them, being able to learn, being able to grow, being able to express ourselves, and being able to express ourselves to our fullest authentic self, because we aren't worried anymore whether or not the people are going to be around at the end of the day. Knowing that we are emotionally fulfilled in and of ourselves, and that we don't need anything outside of ourselves for our peace, our happiness, our joy, but knowing that we can find peace, happiness, and joy in everyday life, regardless of whether or not we have any people that are constantly, consistently in our life. We can have that happiness even without that. But at the same time, having those close, caring connections really does make life worth living. And you can find that every day just in people. You can connect to the people around you. For a long time, people have stopped connecting to the people around them. They have really just, you see those people that go into the store while they're on their phone and they don't even acknowledge the cashier as a person. That's a person. That person is just there to do what they need them to do, and then they're gone. They don't even acknowledge that they exist. They don't talk to them. They don't interact with them in any way. And what is so hard about putting your phone away for a minute, walking up to that cash register and being like, oh, hey, how are you today? I hope you're having a good day today. It's not that hard, but a lot of people, and that's what it is too. A lot of people have that social anxiety thing going on where they really don't know what to say. They don't. And, I used to have a hard time. I don't really anymore. I just noticed that. But I used to really have a hard time with that small talk energy, because I am a very deep person who likes deep conversation and deep interactions. But at the same time, now it doesn't stop me from walking into the gas station and being like, hey, how's your day going? I hope you're doing good today. And letting that person know that they're important and that they matter, and that they're not just this robot behind a counter for everybody to come in and shit on. Because there's a lot of people that just really treat people in customer service positions very badly. Yeah, very badly. And then we have the Hierophant that comes out, and it's a lady behind the counter dealing with the customer. I love that. Anyway, yeah. It's and the Nine of Cups again. Really, everyone is starting to see that their happiness comes from within, that they have that emotional stability and support and love that they need inside themselves. And if we're giving ourselves that love and that kindness and that compassion and empathy and understanding, then we're giving it to the world outside of ourselves a lot more as well. And we are also not so dependent on the world around us for the satisfaction in our lives, because that satisfaction comes from within instead of without. There's a lot of wisdom really being gained, and there's a lot of good things coming into us because of this. I feel like we're manifesting, we're visualizing, we're putting in the work, the effort, the faith, the trust, and in turn, a lot of good things are coming our way. A lot of good things are coming our way for the good energy that we're putting out there. And we're also starting to see that there's no reason to judge the people that are doing things like that either. Because as we learn and grow, we start to realize that, hey, that person's just where I was before I learned, before I grew. That's where they're at right now. And that's okay. And it was okay when I was there too. And it's okay that it's going to take them some time to learn. It's okay that it's going to take them some time to get through what they're going through. It's going to take some time for them to come out that other end. And that's okay. So as we become less judgmental with ourselves, we become less judgmental with the world around us. We become a lot more compassionate and kind and caring with the world around us as we become that with ourselves. We start to see the blessings around us that we may have missed in the past as we start to see ourselves as a blessing as well. There's really just this energy of prayer, faith, belief, and this calmness in the mind. And finding that calmness in the mind is what helps us to be able to act on our truest intentions and our truest goals. We're very motivated and driven right now to find that peace inside of ourselves, to find that peace that the rest of the world can't bring us, but that we can bring ourselves through our faith, through our self-love, through our self-care, through rewiring our thoughts and our processes. A lot of us were taught that it was selfish to take care of ourselves as kids, that we were supposed to take care of everyone around us and put ourselves on the last of the list. And even then, we still weren't even supposed to be on the list, right? Because, you know, if you're important enough, everybody else will be doing for you while you're doing for everybody else. Yeah, that's really not going to work. It's just not going to work. So we're learning how to take care of ourselves and take care of our time, our space, our energy, and how to really delegate the things that we need to delegate, to let people know when we can or when we can't be there for them, or when we can or can't do something in specific. We're really learning how to take care of our energy, take care of our love, take care of our heart space, and how to be honest with what we really do need and what we want, and to be honest with others about what we can accomplish and what we can't, and what we can be there for and what we can't. And to be honest with ourselves about that as well. And to be honest with ourselves about how much other people actually make an impact in our life, or how much it's our expectations that really hurt us in the end. The Witch and Lust. I'm going to pull an extra couple cards to go with that to see what's wanting to come out for that. Yeah, holding back from temptations that throw us off path, that throw us off target, that distract us from our goals and our intentions. Really being able to let people know when we will not accept their behavior, when it is not okay what they are doing, and being okay with that, being okay with the fact that we have to save something for ourselves sometimes, and that other people are just going to have to deal with that. Being okay with the fact that we can't just magically fix all of our problems, that there is work that goes into it too. Yes, there is that energy that you can put out there in a magical sense, but it's not just like hocus pocus, here's what I need. No, it's something that actually takes work, time, effort, attention. It takes shifting and really changing the energy around us and within us to create that change around us. And there's been so much heartbreak that has happened because of the emotional manipulations of others. But if you really want to think about it, we allowed them to emotionally manipulate us because we felt bad for them. We felt upset for them. We felt like they deserved our love more than we deserved our love. And you know what? We deserve our love just as much as anybody else does as well. And we're starting to see the truth in what happened in these situations. We're starting to speak the truth and express the truth about who we are and what we want, and whether or not what you're doing is okay, and whether or not I can handle what you're doing, and if I can't, walking away from this situation. I feel like a lot of us are also starting to really remove people from pedestals that we place them on, and starting to see that Everyone is just human. Everyone is just human. And that sometimes the pedestal was the problem. It wasn't the person, it was the pedestal. It was us expecting the person to be more than what they were, and vice versa. Them expecting us to be more than what we were. And we may have even had our hearts broken by people that came into our lives thinking that we were this perfect person, and then they left our lives when they realized that we were not this perfect person that they thought that we were. And it's the same difference on both ends of that. Learning how to navigate conflicts and learning how to deal with gossip, learning how to keep our eyes on our own lane and disregard the haters, disregard the gossip, the nonsense, the drama, the chaos, the people coming in and lying, and really just being able to see through that and cut through that and move on our way, and no longer allowing those people to get the best of us or cause us that pain and misery anymore. No longer allowing them to knock us off our throne and down into the dirt, but being able to say, okay, this situation didn't work out, and that's okay. And yeah, I'm going to cry about it. I'm going to hurt about it. I'm going to be upset about it, but that's okay. And when it's time, I'm going to come out of it, and not allowing it to completely destroy us or crumble our world simply because that person isn't around anymore. Really being able to rise up from the ashes and learn from that lesson, grow from that lesson, and then take that lesson and show it to other people, teach it to other people, express it to other people. It's really a long, slow, arduous journey, but at the end of the day, slow and steady wins the race. And that's what we're learning most of all, is slow and steady wins the race. You can't just jump into something and really not know what's even going on in the situation and expect it to all work out okay. Sometimes there's going to be bumps, there's going to be grooves, there's going to be different things about every single person that you meet. There's going to be pros and cons, and no one is perfect. Whether that be ourselves or other people, no one is perfect. And that's a lot of what everyone is learning collectively right now, is that no one's perfect. And how to enjoy the journey, how to enjoy everything that we went through, and how to look back on it with fondness, with good memories, how to really find the silver lining in each and every hurt or painful experience that we went through, and how to focus on that and how to enjoy it, instead of feeling like our lives have just been a whole shithole and that's all it ever was, is just shit. Instead, now we're starting to see that there were good things along the way too. And it's all in what we focus on. If we choose to focus on the bad things, then that's all we're going to see is the bad things. But if we choose to focus on the good things, then we're going to see the good things. And honestly, that means you're wearing rose-colored glasses. So we're learning how to balance it out. We may have shifted from one extreme to the other, and then we find the balance. That's the way it usually works. When you're doing anything, you shift from one extreme to the other. When you're not standing up for yourself, not setting your boundaries, not expressing your truth, all of a sudden you're shoving it all down everybody's throat around you. And you're defensive, you're hurt, you're angry, you're upset, and you're yelling at everyone. And then you balance it out, and now you can express your truth and say what needs to be said and express how you feel without jumping down everyone's throat and without hiding it all away. Now it's balanced and in the middle, and that's how we learn, and that's how we grow, is by doing. So that's what it is. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading today. My phone is about ready to die, so I'm going to go ahead and call it good at this point. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If I can figure out how to shut this off now.